Hey everyone, welcome to Divine Indulgence Tarot. I am your intuitive guide. So, a lot of people mark January 1st as the start of their new year, right? New resolutions, fresh goals, all that jazz. But for me, I don't really feel that real refresh start until the first full moon of the year. Now, hear me out. There's something magical about the first full moon. It's like nature's way of saying, hey, it's time to let go of the past and look forward to the next chapter. It's that perfect moment to reflect, reset, and set your intentions for the months ahead. I feel like the energy of the full moon really helps me to align with my goals, and it feels a lot more personal and powerful than just making resolutions on New Year's Day. So, today we're going to look at the reading for the collective for the first full moon, and really the theme of this moon is emotional truth and closure and gentle empowerment. The overall energy is really a turning of the inner tide. It's what has been quietly growing now asks to be acknowledged. It's something that has been festering is not the word I want to use, but something that has been sitting there waiting to grow. And as this first full moon of 2026 rises, it illuminates the emotional landscape of the collective. This is not a loud or chaotic mood, rather, it's deeply revealing. It's almost like a soft light moving across the water, that little glimmer. It's showing you what has been there all along and what you need to embrace. So, as you listen to this reading, I hope that it resonates with you. Just remember, this is for the collective. If you happen to find this not on the first full moon of 2026, that's okay. This reading is 100% going to find you when you need to hear it. That's the greatest thing about our spirituality and our spirit guides. They bring things into our life when we need to hear them. Let's get started with our reading. Our first card. Well, isn't that really fortuitous? The moon. Yes, this full moon begins by calling our attention to intuition, our dreams, our subconscious truths, those things in the back of our mind that are rolling around that we've been thinking about. I feel like many of you in the collective may have felt uncertain. Maybe you feel like your brain has been a bit foggy. Maybe you feel like you've been really emotionally sensitive leading up to today, to the full moon. Um, hmm. I think this moon card really is reassuring you that you're not lost, though. Maybe you've been feeling that way. Maybe you've been feeling like you're just kind of not on the right path. You're not kind of going to where you want to. I think you're really kind of learning to see things in a new way. Much like, the hanged man, where you're kind of seeing things in a different perspective. You are just kind of learning to shift your perspective. There's a lot, I think, that you need to listen to, that your body, that your surroundings, the energy, maybe your spirit guides, those around you who are trying to, I think, guide you. Um, yeah, they want you to trust what your body and your inner voice has been really signaling to you. You've been getting these little signs. Maybe you're not really paying attention to them, but I think you need to. Um, yeah, I think really what it's revealing now may not seem logical to you right now. It might seem a bit foreign. Um, this energy might not be something that you're accustomed to, but it's deeply true for you. Maybe it's, something that you haven't really embraced before. Um, your emotional side, your intuitive side, but you definitely need to listen to this going forward in 2026. It's something, you know, pay more attention to. Pay more attention to your body, your intuition, your dreams. I find my dreams often tell me quite a bit about what's kind of coming towards me energy wise and what I need to look out for. So definitely, keep that in mind. All right, what is our next card? Yes, tying in to the emotional side of things. Yeah, that's this is this is very much about emotional maturity, compassion. You're really kind of stepping forward into that. The Queen of Cups really asks you collectively to hold space for yourself first, and then, of course, for others. Um, yeah, this is a powerful moment for, healing any emotional wounds that you have, maybe carried with you from the past into the new year, especially those tied to family, past relationships that might still be lingering. Maybe you've recently um, left a relationship. Um, hmm. I think this could also mean, kind of letting go of some long held grief that you have had. Um, yeah. Again, having a new perspective on these emotions, again, that emotional maturity, you're really kind of taking stock and you're really being able to acknowledge the emotions that you've kind of pushed aside. And this sensitivity is not a weakness, especially under this moon. It's more about gaining wisdom and how to really move through these emotions, these feelings in a more productive way. I think that has a lot to do with it is, perhaps you haven't been dealing with that in the best way possible in the past. So you're having a new perspective of that. Yeah, you're very sensitive and in tune to this right now. You're really you're really going to take this as a learning opportunity. Hmm. All right, our next card. Ooh, Ten of Wands reversed. Okay. You are definitely releasing something. You're letting go. You're letting go of those emotions, that feeling that's been holding you back. Again, being able to acknowledge them and move through them is really helping you to be able to release that. This card really signals laying down your burdens that were really never meant to be carried into this new year. You're not supposed to take this baggage with you, really. Um, I mean, you may be feeling some old responsibilities or guilt from the past. This very much is a card of some emotional labor that drained you, probably, that drain feeling in 2025. You can now consciously just really set that aside. You can begin to heal and feel lighter in 2026, much lighter than you really felt before. And I think, that has a lot to do again with the moon, right? You're learning to trust your body, your inner voice, holding on to this emotion or this regret or guilt. This emotional baggage from the past is not serving you well. It's not helping your body, it's not helping your health, and you just need to let that go. Let it go, put it aside, um, realize that these things are, it's not for you. It's not for you to bring with you, to carry, to harbor that guilt over, that those feelings over. Yeah, you just, this, I feel this really is resonating with someone on the family aspect of things. I think you were really burdened with having to deal with something kind of by yourself, and maybe you don't feel like you did the best that you could. Maybe you feel like you could have done more, but really, whatever it was that you were doing was something that you were going above and beyond for. You didn't have to do this. It was a responsibility that you took on. And yeah, I really kind of feel like um, this is something to do with family, a family burden that you've kind of been carrying. And Maybe you're feeling a little bit of resentment over this as well. Um, but yeah, lay it down. It's not for you to deal with anymore. It's time to live your truth, to follow your dreams, move forward in 2026 for you. It's okay to be a little selfish here. Absolutely. Okay, so yeah, it's going to, as soon as you can lay this down, you're going to feel lighter. You're going to feel happier, and your body's going to feel just so much better. Right, let's see what our next card is. Ace of Pentacles, yes, yes. The promise of something real and lasting is now emerging. Once you've cleared the space, you're giving it room to be able to flow into. It's being offered to you now. You were taking so much burden, you were closed off, you were feeling this heavy weight, and once you're able to release that, the offerings are coming into you. Yeah, it's clearing your space. And this full moon has really, helped to open the door to this new beginning, and I want to say like a grounded beginning. I think that's something you're really going to focus on, is being more grounded, being more present, perhaps, getting away from social media, because I think that also is something that definitely skews our viewpoint of things, right? Everyone's putting their best face forward usually on social media, and I think, letting that go, um, grounding yourself into the reality, to hear the now, the emotions that you have, being able to work through them, just putting your goals first and foremost is really going to, allow you to open up and receive this gift, this beautiful, beautiful gift and blessings. And it's going to help you be healthier and, have a healthier routine. And it's going to give you, financial opportunity and a renewed sense of like stability and comfort, or commitment to yourself. Um, begin small, begin small. It may come in small as well, but it's a blessing, and it's a long term blessing, and it's a long term potential. Yeah, it's this is a really great reading for this first full moon of 2026, and again, if this is finding you after that date, just know it's finding you when you are meant to receive it. Wow, this has been really, feels like cleansing. It's been a very cleansing read, I think, and just a new beginning, a new opening. Feel free to sage. I like to sage my environment, or use, different crystals to cleanse. Do that for yourself, even actually cleaning in itself, right? Pick up a cloth and just kind of wipe away that negative energy, those things that have been holding you back. Yeah. Well, and this first full moon is really marking, if I can speak here, a real emotional reset point for you. It's asking, the collective as a whole to honor your feelings rather than suppressing them. And I think maybe that is something that you've been doing, is really just kind of pushing those things down, not dealing with them. And I think what you need to do is to close this cycle, with, a tenderness for yourself. Instead of, forcing it, just really let it come in, let it begin to flow in towards you, just really without dragging any of that past energy forward with you. Okay? Now, I don't expect you to really have everything figured out with this reading. Some of you, it might not make sense for right away. But again, listen and watch for those signs and symbols that are, leading you into a more calm year, and a more thankful, gratuitous year. Yeah. You need to be really honest with yourself as well, with what your needs are. And if something doesn't feel aligned with you, you really need to let it go. One of the ways that you can do that, again, is not only with the saging and the crystals, um, stand out in the full moon light. Let that wash over you. Imagine that white light flowing over you and into all your chakras, into your whole body. Take time to meditate. Yeah, I think what you're really going to learn from this is the courage to feel, the courage to be able to release those things, um, and the courage to receive something new. The courage to, this is the release. This is putting those burdens down. And so it is. Embrace the magic within, my friends. Remember, your intuition is always your greatest guide. Until next time, stay divine.